where the entire hijab controversy sparked off. Right now, across colleges and schools in Udupi, we see a very eerie silence. But nonetheless, the showdown over the hijab ban hasn't yet settled. Now we know that the Karnataka High Court has taken this matter up to a higher bench. In fact, the High Court, which was hearing the matter since yesterday, has now referred this case to a larger bench. Karnataka Chief Justice will now appoint a fresh bench to hear this issue. There were heated arguments in court today as well. The petitioner lawyers in court argued that students should be allowed to return to classes as only 2 months are now left for academic session to come to an end, and these girls should not be deprived of their education. Meanwhile, the Karnataka government has argued that it first needs to be determined if at all the hijab is essential to Islam. The state government has now said that a decision must be taken on the basis of law and not on emotions. Karnataka government has also said in court that each institution has autonomy on their dress code, asserting that students in hijab will not be allowed to attend college unless they shun it. Now, the delay in a verdict will only mean that these girls in hijab still cannot attend classes. In fact, the Karnataka Chief Justice will now constitute a higher bench, and colleges in Udupi until then will remain shut, at least for the next 2 days.
There was quite a few deliberations with regard to whether or not the matter should be referred to a larger bench. Eventually that was the decision that was taken, and the matter is now being placed before the Honourable Chief Justice of this Honourable High Court for whether or not the matter should be referred to a larger bench. Of course, there was a lot of deliberations with regard to the interim relief, but we all require that this matter eventually be buried once and for all. So we will hopefully wait for what the Honourable Chief Justice in his wisdom has to say, and accordingly follow suit. Because all of us know right now there is more than just what meets the eye. There are a lot of constitutional aspects that are involved in this matter, and it requires deliberation, requires heavy consideration, and the courts well aware about their duty.
Now, the 6 girls who really kicked off this entire debate on whether hijab must be allowed inside or not, they were the ones who petitioned in the High Court. India Today was the first to bring you their opinions. In fact, I spoke to 2 of those girls, Alia and Shifa, on what exactly happened that sparked this controversy to this proportion. Let's take a listen.
It is a small issue. They could clear it yesterday itself. Okay, and I don't think so. If a saffron shawl is a right to them, they can allow it. But they created this issue soon after we are wearing it. This we are wearing it from before. Our ancestors, everybody used to wear this headscarf. Not only us, but everybody used to wear. I don't know where they brought a new rules. Actually, this rules about this saffron shawl, it came when when the MLA of Udupi gave a statement like, if your students are wearing a headscarf, tomorrow our student will wear saffron shawl.
MLA, which MLA said that? And
Raghupati Bhatt sir said this thing just because to divert our issue. It was just a student issue, and he know it could be solved in a meeting, but just to divert this issue, he gave the statement, and the communal actually started from that time.
Because of the BJP MLA. But I want to ask you, how did this matter escalate? You were going all the years you were studying with the hijab?
In my first PUC, when I wore the hijab, they asked me to remove it. They forced me to remove it, and soon after lockdown took place, that issue could not be solved, and it did not came out to the media.
Right.
And in second PUC, what happened is, when our parents went to convince, our parents said don't go direct and wear the hijab because they'll do the same thing what they did in first PUC. So our parents said when our parents went and asked for the principal to allow us to wear the hijab, he gave the dates. He said, come on this day, we'll discuss and tell you. He did the same thing, and for more than 2 months he dragged that issue with our parents and did not give any conclusion to it. Upon that he said, no, we can't allow you to wear the hijab. So after that our parents said to wear the hijab and go to the college.
That's where the photographs have come out where you were not wearing the hijab.
Yeah, because principal at that time, he had asked the time with a our parents.
Right. So the principal said they want to discuss with your parents. On that day, your parents said don't wear the hijab to try and discuss. Let's solve the issue and then you can wear your hijab.
Yeah.
That was the day the photographs were clicked without you wearing the hijab.
We were not wearing in the beginning. She told like they are pushed out of the classroom. After that we didn't wear because we were knowing they'll push out of the class.
So you were basically wearing it earlier, but you were harassed and therefore you took it off briefly.
And the day, I think that a photograph was that. But I can say I was not there in that. I don't know who is there, but if somebody are there in that, why they're dragging up past pics and we are asking presently, we want our rights. I don't know, if we take their past, like a second pew, they used to pull there and drag the headscarf and all.
Who dragged your headscarf?
Not us, seniors and super
They
seniors.
were dragged headscarf. They were heckled in class.
Yeah, they were past comments like cheap comments like, do you wear how important hijab is for you? Do you wear hijab while you're bathing also? These are the comments
Who used to
from
say
our
this thing?
lecturers, male
Lecturers say
lecturers.
Male lecturers.
Yeah.
And this is for your super seniors.
Yeah, we can bring that things also here, but the thing is how can they just give a photos to media? There's a name called privacy also.
They're giving
So the day when the girls were caught without a hijab, photographs were clicked and those photographs were leaked to the media.
Yeah.
They removed it briefly only so that they could negotiate with the principal at that point. But the parents thought it was right for them not to wear it that moment.
Yeah.
But now there's a lot of talk about how both of you have, 6 of you, y'all have petitioned at the High Court. Y'all have instigated some kind of communal unrest here. Do you think this was always persistent, or is this is happening just now?
It's just a political game which their politicians are playing, and no one forced us, no one trained us. First of all, no one trained us to do this.
The PFI, the SDPI, all of that is backing you, they say.
Yeah, they are backing because we approached them, because our parents approached them for a help when they put us outside the class and not allowing us to enter the class, and our parents were already done begging them to allow us to go to the inside the class. At that time they approached CFI for the help.
Well, we hear these girls, they call it a political gimmick, and rightly so. We're seeing political parties indulging in a slugfest. The BJP now training its guns against the Congress, saying the Congress has instigated this entire conspiracy around the hijab row. Let's take a look.
Protests fueled by political fire. The politics over the hijab controversy that India today has set the agenda on has peaked as the BJP and the Congress continue their crossfire. The parties are now fighting it out over who is to blame for the protests. The BJP has now squarely pinned the blame on the Congress, declaring that they gave birth to the hijab row in Karnataka. The BJP has claimed that lawyer Devdutt Kamath, who's representing the Muslim petitioners in the Karnataka High Court, is also the Congress's legal cell representative.
People know who are behind it, when it was escalated. So for 1 month it was a small problem of 6 girls in a single college of Udupi. So when it came to other colleges, how it was taken to the different districts of the state, we know it. But since the matter is in the court, we're going to speak about that.
If the girls have been wearing the scarves on their head and sitting in the classes, why this issue now? Is it because one group in the BJP wants to dislodge the current chief minister? Congress has nothing to do with this issue. It is the ruling party. It is some fringe elements in the campuses who have been avoiding the girls who have been protesting there, or who have been dictating the girls to wear what they don't want to wear.
The lawyer Devdutt Kamath was quick to respond, saying he lives in a free country and can argue any case, adding that nobody can question his choice of belief. The Karnataka Hijab Showdown fire has spread across India now, and in election season, it's become the big talking point in Uttar Pradesh.
देखिए, ये जानबूझ करके इस प्रकार के विवाद विशेष तौर से कांग्रेस संस्कृति के पोषक लोगों के द्वारा खड़े किए जाते हैं। अगर कोई कॉलेज अपना कोई यूनिफॉर्म का निर्धारण किया हुआ है और उस यूनिफॉर्म को पहन करके कॉलेज में जाना है, बाकी कॉलेज के बाद आप क्या पहनना है नहीं पहनना ये तो स्वतंत्रता है.
I feel that it is a grave violation of the constitutional right, a fundamental right of choice, by disallowing the girls to wear the hijab. So why is it that this government has issued the notification? And they talk about equality, integrity, public order. For God's sake, if a student walks into a school, the Constitution is not suspended. The Constitution is alive for everyone. And the Constitution gives them this freedom and the right to exercise that choice.
Amidst a war of words, the Karnataka BJP went one step ahead and claimed that if the Congress comes to power, even Hindus will have to wear hijabs.
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಜನಾಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಏನಾರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂದೂಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕಿಸುವಂಥ ಕಾನೂನನ್ನು ತಂದುಬಿಡ್ಬೋದೇನೋ ಇವರು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಮಾನಸಿಕತೆಯಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸುಳ್ಳು ಆರೋಪಗಳನ್ನು ಬಹಿರಂಗವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಮರ್ಥಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ.
In a highly polarized and vitiated atmosphere, political parties are adding fuel to a raging fire. As the opposition is piling pressure on the BJP, the Saffron Party has hit back with the conspiracy charge. On India Today, our aim is singular. The students must study and the stokers must be exposed. And we will continue to do that with our reporters on the ground on the back of the biggest agenda-setting news break of 2022. With Shija, Nabila, Shivamurthy and Daniel in Udupi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the hijab controversy has become a point for parties now to reap their political benefit. Now, India Today was the first to break this news for you. The hijab controversy there escalated, which was first shown to you on India Today. And since then, we've seen political parties really trying to use this entire issue to reap political benefits. Now, here's a detailed report on some of those Congress leaders, including Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai, who's changed their stance even as the issue escalated. Take a listen.
Stopping schoolgirls over no hijab is horrifying. India must stop hounding of Muslim women. With these words, Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai has waded into the furious hijab face-off in India, forcefully backing the right of Muslim girls to wear hijab to school as a matter of choice. The rights activist was once a vocal critique of Taliban for opposing burqa and subjugating Muslim women. In her book, Malala had said, and I quote, "They were forcing women to wear burqas. Wearing a burqa is like walking inside a fabric shuttlecock, with only a grill to see. And on hot days, it's like an oven. At least, I did not have to wear one." Many accused her of hypocrisy and selective outrage. BJP said Malala has been silent on forced conversion of minor Hindu and Sikh girls in Pakistan, but tweets lies on India. It was not just Malala who faced allegations of doublespeak on hijab. The Congress, which once slammed ghungat or veil for Hindu women, made a vocal advocacy of hijab for Muslim girls.
महिला के घूंघट बंद कर दिया, तो जब तक घूंघट रहेंगे तब तक महिला के भी आगे नहीं बैठेगा. जमाना गया घूंघट, जमाना गया.
मैंने हिजाब पे बहस छेड़ी. देखिए, एक महिला का अधिकार है, वो बिकिनी पहनना चाहे, वो हिजाब पहनना चाहे, वो घूंघट लगाना चाहे, वह साड़ी पहनना चाहे, वह जीन्स पहनना चाहे. इसमें कोई राजनीति की बात नहीं है और ना होनी चाहिए. किसी का अधिकार नहीं है कि वो एक महिला को कहे कि तुम ये पहनो.
MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi, who in the past has referred to practice of ghungat among Hindus to defend burqa, is once again citing the need for hijab under Muslim law. The BJP hit back, saying country's law hold primacy.
आपका नारा है बेटी पढ़ाओ बेटी बचाओ. ये बच्ची पढ़ रही है, कॉलेज में जाकर स्कूल में पढ़ रही है. आप क्यों रोकना चाह रहे हो उनको? रोकने का मकसद क्या है आपका? आप तो पढ़ाइए ना. हाँ, हिजाब पहन रहे, हिजाब और निकाब जो है वो कुरान में आयत में लिखा हुआ है. कुरान की आयत में है, वो तो फर्ज है.
Today, this entire campaign that has been spun, is this campaign a sahyog, a prayog, or a vote bank का उद्योग? with Pakistan. The question needs to be asked that the same Congress party, why was it silent when Kerala government took a similar decision? When Kerala Muslim Education Society took a similar decision? This means that there is a larger conspiracy behind this entire campaign.
The girls waging pro-hijab protest were themselves accused of hypocrisy after their images from last year taking part in school functions without hijab surfaced. Many asked, what changed in a year?
The students who were not following so far, suddenly if they might have tells this, definitely there must be some instigation against that. And there is a report that one organization called College Front of India, which is a student organization of Popular Front of India, is behind that. The Campus Front of India.
Is the hijab now just a political pawn among parties who eye narrow gains over rights of students to pursue studies? Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, as the matter has now gone to the High Court, High Court's higher bench has got to hear this case. We're going to continue tracking these developments until this case settles. Thank you very much for watching.